What's up, guys? It's your boy Tony here. Welcome to the first episode of STORiTyME.
Wait, why am I talking like that?
Welcome to the debut episode of my new web series, STORiTyME, with me, Tony. Because I feel like I have a lot of funny stories that I never really get the opportunity to tell. So I created this little platform for myself to maybe take care of that and, help with my depression and just keep me busy so I'm not constantly... Anyways, the way I plan on doing this is I want to do 5 episodes. I'm gonna split it off into seasons, so do 5 episodes a season. I already have the first 5 seasons ready to go. I plan on doing one every other Friday, having it up for you guys to enjoy and laugh at me and all that fun stuff. I'm gonna try to not make this intro so long, but this will definitely be the longest video because I have to add the intro in, obviously, to kind of get you guys an idea what the show is gonna be about. So, without further ado, today's episode, we're going to tell my favorite story, probably. The first time I ever dropped acid. It's going to be fun. Ready? Alright, so let me preface this story with a little sidebar here. So, growing up in high school, in my hometown, very widely known for never doing drugs, never drinking, never none of that stuff. You need to know that part to understand the rest of the story. 4 years ago, on the 4th of July, we see in my town, every 2nd of July, they would hold like a 4th of July gathering type thing for the whole town. The whole town was always there. Whether it was parents, friends, school students, cops, lots of cops, teachers, fucking everybody. Everybody was there. The whole town goes. But they don't usually go until later in the night when the fireworks start. How it used to be is we used to have like games and carnival rides and all that shit. It used to be fun. But the budget dropped so much that like I remember one of my middle school math classes, we had to make like board games for a project, and I remember one year vividly that those board games were eventually just used at the fireworks for people to play. So I don't fucking blame people for not showing up early anymore. They still had good food and they had free swimming right next door, which is always fun. So we're there just hanging out. My whole family's there. My mom, my stepdad, my dad, the bitch he was with, my brother, my brother's friend, my little sister, everybody. It's boring as fuck, super boring. Now my brother, huge pothead. My brother's friend, pothead. So my brother was always trying to get me to do drugs with him for years, and I would always say no. I was never gonna break. That's just the way I was. I'm gonna live by the sword. I'm gonna die by the fucking sword. Except for this day. Don't know why. So I'm just sitting on like a park bench by he and his friend, and I just, out of the corner of my ear, I hear them talking, and I hear him look up and say something acid. My dumb ass just looks up and say, I'll take some acid. I didn't know they were going to go get acid. About an hour later, they both come back with 3 hits of acid, and I'm like, fuck. Now I have to take it. Anyway, so I was like, fuck it. Like, my life wasn't very good back then. I didn't want to have a terrible 4th of July, so I was like, maybe this could be fun. Fireworks, hallucinogens, I've never taken them before, but I imagine that combination would be pretty cool. In hindsight, I was wrong. No. Now, I've never done any other type of drug before this, so I didn't have any, like, pre-gaming or conditioning for this type of shit. My body was not prepared at all. By the way, for my friends out there that still think I'm drug-free and blah, 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 I probably never told you this story before, so surprise. Still alcohol-free, though, because fuck that shit. Anyway, so back to the story. So I take this acid, right? I didn't know what to expect. I always kind of believed that hallucinogen shit... Like, I always kind of believe people exaggerated a little bit when they were getting high. Boy, was I fucking wrong. Anyways, I take the acid, and I was like, hey, don't let me do anything stupid. You guys need to watch me. You guys are the drug experts here. Make sure I'm not fucking being weird. I knew everybody from my school would be there. I knew everybody's parents would be there. I knew teachers would be there. I knew the whole fucking town was gonna be there. So I didn't want those people coming up to me when I'm in a state of mind where I can't control myself, finding out I'm on drugs, because I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Because I don't want them to know. I want them to think that I'm still drug free and alcohol free. I want to fucking live by my code, even though I'm not. That makes no sense. But that was going through my mind at the time. The problem with that is they were also on acid. Do you kind of see how that's sort of a problem? Now my mom, my dad, My stepdad, my parents knew. They knew that my brother did drugs, and they knew I was doing this, and, you know, they thought it was funny. So I go off, I fuck off, and me and the bitch my dad was with were just sitting there playing cornhole, right? That's really all we wanted to do, was just play cornhole for the day. I didn't swim, because, yeah, I don't know. So I'm sitting there playing cornhole, you know, just chucking some bags, and all of a sudden I just feel my feet just come up from under me. Felt like I was floating. Whoa, this is cool. So I'm like, time out. I gotta go lay down, because I don't know this feeling. I've never had this feeling before. I don't know what the fuck to do, you know? So I walk over to my stepdad's truck, and keep in mind, this is July 2nd. It's like 90 degrees outside. I go over to my stepdad's truck, and I lay on the tailgate. I don't know why, I wasn't cold, but for some reason I felt the need to just wrap myself in the blanket that was back there. So I'm just laying down on the fucking tailgate of my stepdad's truck in the middle of summer with a blanket wrapped around me. I'm fucking looking up at the sky, and there's power lines above my head, and they were fucking playing music. So I fucking just reached up to the sky, and I just started plucking them like a goddamn guitar. And there's fucking music playing in my head. And I'm like, this is fucking cool. I'm drooling over myself and shit. I'm like a cat fucking playing with a yarn ball. Side note, there's a thing I noticed when I was on acid, that there are moments where your brain kind of shuts off, but you can still see what's going on. But then there are also moments where you stop, and you're able to like look at the situation that's occurring. You can kind of just notice how fucking weird it might look, but you can't stop it, but you can kind of like digest what's going on. Does that make sense? No? Okay. So I'm laying there, and you know, I'm plucking, you know, and then it just hit me. I'm like, does it look weird that I'm doing this? That I'm wrapped in a blanket in the middle of summer, waving at the sky? Because what I see is not what everybody else sees. I didn't even have time to answer myself, because out of the blue, very subtly, my stepdad leans over me, and he goes, bah! And then everything went fucking downhill from there. The whole trip from there was fucking garbage. I fucking freaked the fuck out. Don't do that to somebody when they're tripping balls. It's not fucking cool. Next thing I know, my head's melting and shit, trying to find a safe place to go where there aren't so many fucking people. I don't remember exactly where I went after that, but I do remember very vividly sitting on one of those like park bench swings, and they don't go very high, but I was very high. I'm sitting on this fucking thing, swinging back and forth. I'm just afraid to get off. And as I'm sitting there, fucking bitch that my dad took, sitting there with me, trying to tell me like, you know, I was proud of you for never doing drugs, you shouldn't do that, blah, 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 blah. That's all well and good, but all that's doing is just freaking me out even more. Going in my head, I'm like, yeah, you're right, yeah. I wish I never did this, blah, 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 blah. Like, she doesn't realize she was not helping me at all. I finally safely get off this swing, scurry over to like a normal park bench. You know, I'll just sit here and just watch karaoke. Just listen to people sing karaoke, you know, maybe that'll help. I'm freaking the fuck out. My mom's there, she's laughing at me. My dad's right there, he's kind of chuckling at me. My stepdad knows what's fucking going on, that motherfucker. So yeah, I'm just fucking sitting there. It didn't even cross my mind that I hadn't seen my brother or his friend for like 3 hours. They're supposed to be watching me, goddammit. So then he comes up, sits down in front of me, and starts laughing at me because he knows I'm fucking losing my mind. He's like, what's wrong? Dude, I just want this to end. He fucking looks at me and he says, don't worry, you only have 8 more hours. I fucking started crying. 8 more hours? It's like a whole fucking shift at work. I couldn't even survive 8 more fucking minutes on that shit. Like, I started pulling at my hair, bawling my fucking eyes out. There are points in time that I don't remember. They just kind of got blurry. Like, my brain kind of kept shutting off. There's just pieces that I don't remember at all. I do remember vividly when I was walking on the reservoir, I couldn't exactly get all the way up on the reservoir. By the way, the fireworks are held at our reservoir. We have 2 reservoirs for some fucking reason. I never understood that. Everybody would gather on the one reservoir, and then the fireworks would be shot off of the big reservoir. I was walking up the reservoir, but I never actually made it all the way to the top, so I was kind of like leaning as I was walking, which was, I guarantee I looked drunk. There are conversations from that night I probably just don't recall. There's a whole chunk of that fucking experience that my brain just shut off for. There were times where I just kind of woke up places. One of those times when I woke up on the reservoir, I was trying to text my mom to let her know, like, hey, please make sure I get to the car safely tonight, because at the end of the night, everybody's rummaging around trying to get to their cars. But the struggle with that is trying to get my fucking phone out of my pocket and put it back in my pocket. For some reason, that was like some fucking magic trick I couldn't figure out. I want to say it took me at least an hour to get my phone back into my pocket. So we're just walking around. I'm like, you know, as long as these guys are with me, I should be fine. So yeah, I don't really remember anything after texting my mom. I blinked out again, but then I like woke up, and this is one of those times where like everything's, you can't control yourself, but you kind of can tell what you're doing looks weird to everybody else. So I like woke up, and like I'm sitting on the reservoir waiting for the fireworks to start. I legitimately went, how'd I get here? And I look up, sitting on the ground, grasping at my mom's knee, and I look right in front of me. My grandparents are there. Nobody told me they were coming. I struggled, but I climbed up my mom's body and I was like, hey, if they ask what's going on, just tell them I took some medicine for my knee. Because I was having knee problems at the time. So she's like, okay. What I thought was whispers was actually just really loud talking, and they could hear me clear as day. So somehow that whole thing happened again where like I blanked out, but I woke up on a different side of the reservoir. And all I remember was I was sitting down, but I wasn't all the way up on top of the hill for the reservoir. I was like kind of 3/4 of the way up. So I was like at an angle, like slipping down the reservoir. For some, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but like I looked behind me and I saw my brother and his friend. And in my head, I was like, well, as long as they're behind me, I'm not going to fall because they're back there. They're going to catch me. I'm going to be fine, you know. It had its bad moments, you know, but the fireworks are about to start. So I think everything's going to be kind of okay. About to go home after this, you know. These only last about 40 minutes. I can survive this, you know. I'm by myself. There's not a lot of people paying attention to me. They're all going to be looking at the fireworks. The fireworks start. Everyone was like the grand finale to me. Like a baby looking at fucking keys. I look behind me again, you know, and my brother and his friend are gone. I started freaking the fuck out. I like took my hands and dug them into the grass to make sure I wouldn't slide. Just kind of like sank into the ground. And then all the fireworks became scary. It was like boom, ah, boom, ah. Then the actual grand finale started. And I fucking lost it. And I started crying. I was screaming. Bananas. What I thought fireworks would be like on acid before I took acid were the exact opposite of what fireworks on acid were like. It was up to me to try to figure out where my fucking mom was because she wasn't with me anymore. I just start walking and I'm freaking the fuck out. There's a bunch of people walking past me with phone lights and shit. It's completely dark. I can't see shit. I don't know where anybody is. I don't know who anybody is. Like, people were talking to me and saying hi. Don't know. I don't know who I talked to that day. I don't know what the fuck happened. Everything was just, it was just a big blur. A big acid trip blur. I finally found our car. Best part of the whole trip. On the way back, when we were just in the car and we were just chilling and we were driving past all the cornfields and my brother was just playing all this like techno type music and shit. All the lights and shit were just like blurring past me and I'm just like, ah. I felt like a hippie in the fucking 60s. I get home, right? I'm just like, you know, I don't want to fucking deal with anybody right now. I just want to go in my room, fucking watch cartoons and enjoy the rest of this, you know, try to calm myself down. So I go in the room and I turn on Cartoon Network. I don't know what the fuck I was watching. It wasn't Garfield. It was Garfield to me. I remember watching this and I just fucking started laughing. Nothing was really happening to make me laugh. The animations were just giggling me the fuck out. So then an idea hit me. I'm just laying in my bed. If this is the only time I'm gonna do drugs, I kind of want to masturbate just to see what it's like. Just start flipping through my porn, trying to find one. Like, you know, I gotta find a good fucking porn to watch for this because I want this to be like one magical experience. So it didn't take me very long. I found one and I just started going. I felt like it took for hours and I didn't fucking get up to close my door. I wasn't paying attention to who was coming in and out. People might have been coming into my room and I just didn't see because I was so focused, like drawn in on the porn. If somebody had came in, all they would have seen was a grown man in his bed, half naked, drooling, masturbating to not a Garfield cartoon. So I hope nobody came in my room. If there was a masturbation hall of fame, that masturbation sesh should be fucking in there somewhere. So yeah, the trip died down. I couldn't fucking sleep. So my brother and I just, he convinced me to go on a walk with him. And we walked fucking 10 miles. We walked to the next town over and then fucking back at like 3 in the morning. And we just fucking talked and argued and almost fought. And fucking walked our way back, came back inside, and I fell asleep, and I slept for fucking hours. And the next day, I felt like I just got beat up. Like, my body was, like, all relaxed, but, like, kind of still getting the hang of using my brain. So, yeah, that's the story of the first time I did acid, and, it's one of the craziest days of my life. It was this other time where I took this THC pill. Story for a different video. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Give me some likes, give me some comments, give me some shares. I'm going to go ahead and make a little Facebook page specifically for this show, and I'm going to share all the videos there. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode, the debut episode of Storytime with me, Tony. See ya.